So all this is happening. All this is being set into motion. And the person's given up, so it doesn't happen. And then they say it doesn't work because they gave up. Colonel Sanders could do it when he was in his 70s and he wasn't into meditation. He just got in his car. He was sitting around, right, in a retirement home. And he had tried many different types of businesses and had some success in different businesses. And he had his chicken recipe. And he was sitting around in this retirement home and he just said, I can't do this. I'm not old. I cannot do this. I'm 70-something. I can't do this. I'm not old. I've got a car. I've got my recipe. I'm not giving up. I'm not going to sit here and wait to die. Literally, most people, you know, retirement fund, oh, then we could go to the beach and have some fun. You know, most people are waiting to get to death as safely as they bloody well can. And what's that? There's no risk, there's no life, there's nothing. I was willing to give my life in the last 3 years to this light. And I'm still, at any moment, willing to give my life. This is my life now. And if anyone else doesn't like it, I couldn't care less. It makes no difference to me. This is what I'm here to do. And if you're here tonight, there is a reason. Your spirit is here to do something. And it's like, I know that people say, oh, enlightenment is the goal, and that's the only reason we're here. Yes and no. Yes, that is, of course, why we're here, is to become awakened, have the Kundalini holy light awaken within us, and all these 700 million nadis awaken in electricity, and then we go through the Stargate, which is awesome, and it really rocks, and all of that's great. But what do you do on the way to that? What do we do to make our life purposeful? Put on the gas mask, not the gas mask. That's putting on the gas mask. You want the oxygen mask. You put the oxygen mask on yourself first. Because I did the other thing and it nearly gassed me. All I did, I was working 18 hours a day. Literally. All I did was work, work, work. And I wasn't setting enough time for this particular observer, Holy Spirit, higher self. That was my mistake. I nearly killed myself so many times because all I wanted to do was give. And then I had people involved because I thought that this was really going to be it with my business. And then when things didn't work there, it would bring me down more and I'd think I'd have to give more. And then the more I give, the sicker I would get. And until I met my enlightened teacher, I didn't really get it. We have to have time for the spirit, for it to awaken. Then you get the empowerment within you. Then you're never tired when you work. I could stand here, and some people have seen me do it, for 3 days. I've done it in the studio with no sleep and be exactly like I am now. You won't be, but I would be, so I might look different. Because when you're doing your purpose, you might feel like your body needs rest after you're finished, like I would tonight, or in 3 days. But while you're doing your purpose, when that has come alive, that spirit and that empowerment within you, it's joyful. It rocks. From editing a book that you're doing, or setting up the coffee here, which is blessed water by Guruji, by the way, that particular water. So have a coffee and cookies. And do your purpose. But what is your purpose? Your purpose is to be happy. To be happy. And then everything that you do, if you were in a canning factory, your heart would still hum the whole time. It doesn't stop once it starts. But we must, which is what I said in the beginning, we must take time for our spirit, for our observer. So it doesn't have to sit there going, 1,000 years, Groundhog Day, while we're sleeping. It is beautiful. This, call it a guardian angel, call it your holy light, call it your observer. It is real. Call it your true higher self. It is real. And the least that us stupid humans can do, us pillowcases, is to be fluffy. And be there for this observer. And when you're there for your observer, and you do the right things by this for the pillowcase, exercise it, eat properly, drink plenty of fluids, rest it when it needs the rest, and get into the silence, this observer will not only create miracles in your life and a bliss and a joy that is indescribable. No intellect, no words can describe it. And then everywhere you go, whether you're at the post office, at a bank, anywhere you are, people will feel it. Some people may feel uncomfortable with it and not like you and not know why they don't like you. But that doesn't matter, because your spirit will still be talking to their spirit and it will still work. Because it's harmony. We are all one. Everyone's spirit, everyone's observer can speak to each other, but like, say, you know, there's one observer here, this Holy Spirit. Hi, Frank, how are you today? Oh, I'm not bad. Dorothy, how are you doing? Oh, I'm just, waiting around. I'll just keep talking to you, because this one's still asleep. Ah, never mind. Well, we can have a little chat. Oh, but mine's not asleep, so I have to run. See you later. Whereas if they're both in pillowcases that are awake, Dorothy can speak to Frank, and Frank can say, "Oh, Dorothy, could you be telling your little pillowcase there that they've got to go over to see this bloke Guruji, or they've got to see Joseph or Johnny or Kim tomorrow? Can you just be telling them that? Just put that in their brain and just guide them for that. Put a big billboard sign up if you like. I don't care." Sure, not a problem, because then Dorothy can go into the brain, into the spirit, and guide you. And you hear it. You know it. Everyone gets it differently. But you know it. You feel peaceful when you're guided to do those things. You feel calm. It feels right. It feels natural. It feels natural.